Hello, and welcome back to the Cracking Paying YouTube channel. Today we're going to be solving another question for the beginners. Lead code question number 121, best time to buy and sell stock. Before we get into the video, two things. The first, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. The engagement really helps me grow the channel. And two, no, I am not starting to do dynamic programming questions. I know this question technically could be a dynamic programming question, but it's super straightforward. It's not dynamic programming. Don't worry, I haven't lost my mind. We're not doing dynamic programming. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's read the question prompt. You are given an array of prices where prices of I is the price of the given stock on the ith day. You want to maximize your profit by choosing a single day to buy one stock and choosing a different day in the future to sell that stock. Return the maximum profit you can achieve from this transaction. If you cannot achieve any profit, return 0. So let's look at an example here where we have prices 7, 1, 5, 3, 6, 4. So what is the maximum amount of profit we could get here? So, let's look at some options. We could buy on the first day and sell on the second day. That would be a -6 profit. We probably don't want to do that. We could buy on the first day and sell on the second day, but that would still be -2. Okay, let's scrap that idea. What if we bought on the third day and sold, we bought on, when the price is 3 and we sold at 6. That would be a price increase of +3. That's pretty good. But the best solution is actually to buy when the price is 1 and to sell when the price is 6. If only we could see that in the future, we'd all be trillionaires. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. So in this problem, there is actually no solution here because we can see that this is a decreasing sequence, which means that no matter when we buy, the prices after it will always be lower, therefore will be in the negative. So our best option is actually just to buy nothing. So obviously you can see that we want to pick the smallest value and then sell at the highest value to the right of it. But obviously, how do we figure that out without literally trying every single combination? Because that's going to be quite expensive in terms of solving this question. So what we're going to do here, and after I erase everything, is we are going to keep track of our current price, right? So we're going to set our original current price to be the first one in the sequence, which is in this case 7. And we're going to keep track of the profit that we've made so far. And obviously we haven't made any profit before we've bought anything, so our profit is 0. What we're going to do now is we're going to go from left to right over our prices. And what we're going to do is if the current price is less than, if the current price is actually greater than, the price that we're storing in current, which is going to be representing the value that we actually bought at, we're going to say that the current price, so let's write that out. So if the price is actually less than the price that we originally bought at, then our price that we originally bought at might not be the lowest price possible because we've now found a price that's actually lower than it. So in this case, we actually want to update our buy price to be whatever this price here is. So we're going to now set price, the current price that we're buying at, to be this new price here that we just iterated over. So for example, we start with our current of 7, and then we're going to get to the 1, and we see that actually 1 is less than 7. So that means that this 1 might be a better entry into the trade. So we're going to pretend like we didn't buy at 7, and we're actually going to pretend like we bought at 1. So we're going to update our cur to be 1, and we're going to continue on to the next price. So that's the first case. But what if the price is actually equal to, the price that we bought at, right? Sorry, if the current price that we just got is actually higher than the price that we bought at. Well, then we want to calculate our profit. And remember, the profit is going to be the difference between the profit that we've, been able to make so far. So we're going to say the maximum of our current profit and whatever the difference in the price is, right? So that's going to be our price. So the current price minus what we bought at, and remember cur is our purchase price, and price is the current price. So obviously the difference between them is going to be the profit. And if this value is actually higher than the profit that we've booked so far, we can actually consider the trade starting at whatever Kerr was, ending at our current position with price to be a better trade, and that will be our max profit. And we're going to go from left to right, and we're basically going to calculate this profit value. Now, either we're going to find a profit inside of our loop here, or we're never going to find it because we have a decreasing sequence. In that case, we will just have profit be 0, and we just return that at the end. So hopefully that's not too confusing. If it is, don't worry. When we go to the code editor, this is literally 10 lines of code, so it should be very easy to walk through, and I'll talk you through every step of the way, and we'll figure out how to solve this question. All right, I'll see you in the code editor. In the code editor, and let's write the code. So let's define our purchase price, which is going to be, we're just going to set it to the first item in the prices list, because we're going to just pretend like we buy at the very first one. So we're going to say purchase price is going to just equal prices of 0, right? We're just going to pretend like we buy the first one. And we're going to need a variable to keep track of our profit. So let's define that and set it equal to 0. Now what we want to do is we want to go through all of the prices in our list here. So we're going to say for price in prices, but we want to be starting from the first index. And the reason that we want to start at the first index is obviously we're going to be calculating a difference between two prices, and we don't want to calculate the difference between the purchase price in itself. We're obviously going to get 0, so we want to do trades further out in the future, because obviously there's no point given that the profit will be 0 if we just buy and sell at the same time. So now that we have this price, what we're going to do is we're going to say if the current price is actually less than our purchase price, then it could be the case that we didn't buy at the absolute low, which is what we're trying to do. We're trying to basically minimize the price that we buy at, and we're trying to maximize the price that we sell at. So if our current price is actually less than the purchase price, then we potentially didn't buy at the best time. So we're actually going to now ignore our original purchase, and we'll say we're actually going to be purchasing at this new purchase price. So the purchase price is going to equal to our current price, right? Otherwise, if our price is actually higher than the purchase price, obviously we're going to make some profit there. So we're going to say that profit is going to be the maximum of whatever the current profit we were able to book so far, and the difference between our price and the purchase price. Obviously that's going to be the profit in this trade. So the difference between them is the profit we're going to make if we buy at whatever the purchase price was and we sell at whatever the current price is. So that is how we're going to book the profit, and we're going to do that for basically all the prices in this array. So at the end, all we need to do is simply return our profit, and we're good to go. I just want to make sure I haven't misspelled anything here. Okay, purchase price. There we go. Okay, that's why I run these. Make sure. Okay, cool. It looks like we're good to go. So let's submit this, and we are good to go. So we can see that it runs. It's accepted. So what is the time and space complexity of this algorithm here? Well, for the time complexity, obviously we have to iterate over all of the prices in prices. So that is going to be a big O of n operation. And inside of our loop, we just have an if statement, which is going to be a big O of 1 operation, so we don't have to worry about that. Same with taking the maximum, that's a big O of 1 operation. So within our loop, we all have big O of 1 operations, and we do this n times, which is where we get big O of n. For the space, we don't actually use any extra space here. We have two variables, purchase price and profit, but those are constant space allocations because they're just numbers. They're not actually data structures. So our space is going to be big O of 1, which is going to be the time and space complexity of this algorithm. So that is how you this is how you solve best time to buy and sell stock. This is a relatively simple question. Again, this is for some of the beginners that might be on the channel. Obviously, a lot of the questions I solve are generally medium to hard questions, so I'm expanding it to have a little bit more of those introductory questions for people who might be new to the LeetCode grind. I don't want them to feel left out on the channel. I want to make content for basically anyone, regardless of their ability. because that way I can help the most amount of people. So that is how you solve this question. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment. Like I said in the introduction, the engagement really helps the channel grow. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. I have a ton of videos coming out, and I'm currently working on a systems design series. So if you want to learn that for your interview prep, definitely stay tuned to the channel. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.